But you can't receive the new thing if your hands are still holding on to something old. Somebody needed to hear this. I told you, just give me 15 minutes. We might not need the full 15. Give me just 15 minutes and I will help you let go of them. Not by telling you to just move on, not by pretending your feelings don't exist or they aren't real, but by first of all helping you understand why you're still holding on. Then second of all, moving on to the tools to be finally free. Because the truth is, what you're holding on to isn't them anymore. It's the hope of who you thought they were. So, we are one conversation away from a shift in perspective that can lead to a decision that can change our entire life. So let's have that conversation. Welcome to the Pieces to Peace podcast. I'm Dees, and let's just dive into it. I want you to imagine something with me, okay? Picture this. You see this beautiful butterfly, probably the most beautiful butterfly you've ever seen, right? It's immaculate. The colors, the movement, it's captivating. You start to chase it, thinking that if you could just get close enough, that maybe you could hold it. But no matter how fast you run, the butterfly flutters just out of reach. You get close enough to almost touch it, but you never do. That's what it's like when you're chasing after someone who's already gone, both physically and emotionally. You convince yourself you're almost there, that maybe just one more effort, right? One more call, one more chance, and they'll finally be yours again. But in reality, you're exhausting yourself chasing something. You're literally exhausting yourself chasing something that doesn't want to be caught. And this reminds me of this beautiful quote that's very applicable here. I just recently heard it. The quote goes, "You're standing in the same spot, refusing to abandon someone who already left." Let that sink in. And I want you to understand, while you're still standing, waiting, life is simply passing you by. But here's the part most people don't realize. I want to empower you. I want to speak life into you. If you just stop chasing that butterfly and instead start building a beautiful garden, which is your life, something amazing happens. You start planting flowers. You start growing things. You start creating beautiful moments, circumstances, hobbies, events, memories, all by yourself. And maybe, just maybe, that butterfly one day comes to you. Or maybe not that butterfly, a more beautiful one that you didn't even think existed, or a flutter of butterflies come to you, right? But here's the key. Here's the key. It won't even matter if the butterflies come, because you'll be too busy enjoying the garden you built. And that's exactly what healing looks like. Not waiting for someone to return, but instead creating a life so full, so beautiful, so rooted in peace, that no matter whether they come back or not, it doesn't even matter. Because in the end, you've already won. So from a CBT perspective, from a cognitive behavioral therapy perspective, one of the reasons you feel stuck is because your brain is built on an association. It has built-in association with this person. Your brain says this person equals safety. This person equals love. This person equals part of my identity. Even if that's not your reality anymore, your mind clings to the old wiring. Does that make sense? And this is called emotional reinforcement. Each time you check their page, their social media page. Each time you read old messages, each time you replay the memories, you strengthen that neural pathway that you're supposed to detox and cut off. But here's the good news. Your brain can simply be rewired. Every time you choose not to engage in those habits and instead invest in something life-giving, something for you, choosing you, nurturing your healing, you weaken the old connections and you strengthen new ones. It won't be easy at first, but eventually it will, long as you remain disciplined, long as you keep choosing yourself, long as you keep pivoting. One cognitive behavioral therapy tool I like to share with my clients that's so powerful, it's called a replacement strategy. Don't just tell yourself, stop thinking about them, but instead replace the thought with an action. Whether it's calling a friend when you have the urge or tendency, or you start to journal how you feel to place it somewhere, right? Or pour that energy into something new, a brand new project. Whatever it may be, you're pivoting away. You're not shutting it down. You're not ignoring it. You're not acknowledging it. You're actually choosing to shift this energy elsewhere. So, God said something so beautiful in Isaiah 43, verse 18 through 19. He says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Oh, I just want to take a moment and process that part. He says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. And then he goes on to say, see, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Oftentimes, we get so clouded on what we lost, what we're missing, what we lack. We don't even realize or pay attention to. We forget to acknowledge what God is doing, the new things that are coming. That's why he says, do you not perceive it? Because he's telling us to forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. And if we do dwell on the past, if we continue to remember the former things, we will not perceive what God has planned for us, the moving parts, the blessings that are to come. Then the verse goes on to say, I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. When you thought things had crumbled down, dried up, caught on fire, it was actually simply a revitalization period, a season where he's actually detoxing, fertilizing the soil, removing things that no longer serve you to create place and space for greater things to come. Oh, because if you thought God can remove something that you never expected to lose, right? If God can remove something that if God can remove something that you never expected to lose, then that same God can bless you and gift you something that you never expected to receive. Sometimes your next blessing won't come until the right people or things are out of your life, because room has to be made. God is not telling you to just let go in that verse. He also tells you why. It's because he's doing something new for you. But you can't receive the new thing if your hands are still holding on to something old. Somebody needed to hear this. I told you, just give me 15 minutes. We might not need the full 15. Sometimes the act of letting go isn't a loss. Oftentimes, it's in fact making room. Ooh, my goodness. My goodness. Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about remembering, but with a new perspective. It's about paying attention to the story you tell yourself. Like I said before, the original story we often tell ourselves, it's that I'm chasing this butterfly. If I try a little bit harder, I'll be able to get this butterfly. If I chase a little bit harder, if I jump a little bit higher, if I just don't give up, I'll be able to eventually catch this butterfly and it can eventually be mine. The moment you start preserving your energy, not exhausting it on this butterfly, but placing it within yourself, building that garden, nurturing those plants, fertilizing the soil, you realize that letting go is in fact about releasing your grip on what is no longer yours to carry. Stop chasing butterflies. Start building gardens. Because your healing, your peace, your future are worth more than waiting in the same spot for someone who already walked away. Don't you deserve more than that? I mean, think about it. This person showed you who they were. This person is no longer in your life. It didn't work for a reason. You're in a season to accept that truth. You're in a season that's all about you. You're alone right now, but you have two options in front of you. You can either be lonely, feeling lack of, or you can be in a season of solitude, which is a season of empowerment, of reclaiming your peace, reclaiming your power. You get to decide. And you know what tends to happen for a lot of us? We get so used to the bumpy road in front of us. We get so used to the pain. We get so used to the sad story we tell ourselves, even though we know it's not serving us. There's this thing called cognitive dissonance where two things conflict. We know it's not good for us, but we still cannot not do it because we're addicted to the pain. We're addicted to the negativity. We're addicted to this sad story we tell ourselves. And the idea of embarking on this road, this journey, this story that actually tells us we are the main character, that actually tells us we are in control, that actually reminds us of the power that God has placed in our heart. That road, that story, that avenue seems intimidating and scary at first. That's why we shy away and do what's comfortable and familiar, even if it ends up hurting us in the process. Even if it ends up perpetuating and delaying us and stunting our growth in our healing. It's not because it's serving us or that it's good for us. It's that's all we've known. That's all that we're used to. That's all that's familiar. And the moment you can realize, okay, although I've never gone down this path before, this path of empowerment, this path of healing, this path of peace, and although it may be intimidating, it seems like a quite steep hill, I'm going to take a chance on myself because I deserve that. You're not lonely, you're in solitude. You're not by yourself, you're with yourself. And this is what they mean by if you change the things you look at, then the things you look at end up changing. You don't realize how much power you have in the life that you're living right now. I want you to look at it from this perspective. It's like you're watching your own life in your own body from your own perspective, right? It's like you're watching this TV show, this television, this movie. You're watching it and you don't like how it's going. You're frustrated. You're punching air. You're screaming at the television. You're screaming at life. You're screaming at God. You're upset. You're pissed off. I've been there. I know what that feels like. And what I'm trying to get you to see is that you're focused on, your energy is going towards the wrong thing. And what I mean by that is while you're screaming at the screen, you're yelling at God, and you're just upset and you're stomping in the same place that you are, little did you realize all you needed to do was to look down at your hands and realize that remote to change the channel, to change the show, that pen to rewrite the story, to write a more empowering story that you want, a better happily ever after, a chapter that you want to thrive and succeed and find joy and happiness in. The ability to travel to that point, to change the channel, to flip those pages, to write that book has always been in your hands. And the moment you can realize that and empower yourself with the ability not to change your life overnight, but to start taking the proper steps to live in the life that you want to live in, ooh, that's when your entire life changes. That's when your story changes. That's when the past looks different. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed, right? When you look at the past, nothing changed. The only thing that changed was your perspective, the story you told yourself. And if you feel empowered, if this spoke to you, like I said, less than 15 minutes to help you let go of them. Thank you for giving me 15 minutes of your time to help you let go of them. It won't happen overnight, but these are the proper tools and steps to get you where you need to be, which is right back to you. God never left. He's been there the whole time. He's just been waiting for you to acknowledge him. And if you want more of this type of atmosphere, this energy, a safe community with weekly group Zoom calls, question and answers, click on the link in the description or reach out to me on social media and join our healing community. You get a 7-day free trial. We have weekly Zoom calls and monthly new modules. It's a safe space and environment to help you heal. Because just like going to a doctor or a hospital, they don't heal you. They simply create that nurturing, safe space so that the natural healing that's supposed to happen happens protectively. So come join this healing community. Get the tools, the ointment, the cast, the surgery you need to help propel your already existing healing. So take your healing journey to the next level. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on this podcast. And I want you to remember this. You don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live hard, love deep, enjoy life, and go find somebody to leave better than how you found them. And the first person I recommend you starting with is with yourself. All right, peace from Dees.